When I was 13, I wanted to be known for something. I didn't really have any hobbies outside studying, so besides being a general nerd, no one really knew who I was. And I wanted to change that. It sounds shallow, and it is, but that's why I started drawing. I picked up a pencil every day because I thought that's how I'd become more popular. Throughout the years, I've compared myself with better artists, and I've always thought, what's the point? Why keep trying when people better and younger than me exist? And I think a lot of us who've tried to learn any hobby, sport, or art have had that kind of experience. Every time we scroll on social media, we instantly realize there's always a bigger fish, and the motivation gets sapped out of us every time. Well, now that I'm older, I think I've found the why. It's not necessarily that I started thinking I could become the greatest of all time, though you're welcome to think that if you'd like. No, I just realized practicing and studying and failing and striving brings so much more than just the skill you learn. I realized so much of what made me a productive person was because I tried and because I kept trying. When I was 13, my drawings looked like this. Honestly, I was far from being the best in class. I wasn't even considered to be an artsy person in high school. And that sucked, knowing I worked so hard to get better at something just for people to not care. But I also think that came with one of the most important lessons I've learned in all my life. That is, you probably won't be the best at something, especially if you just started. That sounds self-explanatory, but you have to realize that's why so many people give up while being beginners. You will suck at it. People might laugh at you. You might laugh at how terrible you are. And that's okay. Your enjoyment, the value that you get from doing something, doesn't have to come from being the best at it. A lot of the time, people get better from just enjoying something rather than going into it already trying to get good. Once in a while, I like taking a trip down memory lane, seeing all my old, terrible artwork. It makes me appreciate my current skill and gives me a sense of pride knowing that my consistency, my hard work actually paid off. And I'm not saying you never get that feeling in school or in usual academic environments, but people with hobbies like myself will tell you it's a completely different ballgame when you're improving on your own terms, by your own effort in searching for and absorbing information. People often say that confidence comes when we actually have tangible information saying that we are capable of doing better. And I simply believe taking up a hobby is one of the most straightforward paths to getting that confidence. Pick any skill that interests you. Try, fail, do better, and keep doing that until you realize you're a completely changed person. Now, this last concept is one I learned from Scott Young's book, Ultralearning. And in that book, he talks about the concept of metalearning, which essentially means learning how to learn. Now, I said learn a lot in that sentence, but the reason metalearning is so important is because the process of intaking information and applying it to improve a skill is applicable to learning literally anything and everything. From algebra, plotting the equations of conic sections, to writing a compelling story, to creating a masterful artwork, all of these involve constant learning and applying. So, let's say you're an artist and you want to learn how to draw the human body. When you start out with proportions, then facial features, then depth, then three-dimensionalizing the body, all you're doing is building off every tidbit and slowly adapting your brain to recreate the human figure from imagination. If you were to do that, then if you started learning how to write a book, that same process of slowly building up techniques and lessons stays with you. not only to motivate you into being more patient because it worked with another skill, but also because your brain is literally being trained to absorb and apply information better. That is the power of meta-learning. Now, you might be asking, why am I telling you this? We get it. Learning stuff is cool. But I'm employed. I'm in college. I have kids. I don't have time to do any of that. Well, the reason I'm still telling you all of this is because I know we've all had that same feeling. That feeling of seeing someone so good at something, we feel like it's calling to us. Whether that's seeing a legendary guitarist rip chords and electrify the entire stadium, or watching Kim Jong-gi create worlds out of sheets of paper, or seeing YouTubers like PewDiePie or Markiplier inspire entire generations. I know at some point in our lives, we've all asked ourselves, I want to do exactly what they're doing. And all I'm asking of you is, start. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be passable even. You don't have to make your hobby seem presentable. Do it because it makes you happy. I'm sure everyone you've ever admired at anything you could imagine has at some point just started. So do the same. Just start. Thanks for watching.